I'm realizing how important it is to be delusional in this world. There's no better way to disrupt the corrupt than by daring to dream. Dreamers are often seen as delusional, flighty, lost in the clouds, and mostly insignificant to the machine. But this is the secret. Dreamers are actually the machine's greatest threat. We are guided away from our hearts and forced out of our dreaming states. Why? Because our dreams are laced with opportunity and the energy of great change. And that is threatening to a system which benefits from our forgotten dreams and deadened hearts. We learn that our dreams, which are stolen from most of our minds from the time we can talk, are an imposition to us belonging within the system. The system we are made to rely upon for our survival. The dreams alive in our hearts becoming a hindrance to our being accepted into the assembly line. And so, we hand our dreams over like a ticket at the entrance to a show. We walk down the center aisle and find a seat. We sit back, relax, and enjoy a brainwashing spectacle, and leave the show feeling numb but safe. Our dreams, left at the theater like the pile of ticket stubs in the trash can. The visions birthed within our hearts when we are young eventually become like a vapor, evaporating into a distant echo of what we once knew to be true, that our hearts carry great power. If you want to make an entire species of people believe that they are powerless, disconnect them from their hearts. Soon they will forget that they used to touch God, that God was never something outside of them, a being who wishes to render them defenseless and vulnerable, but that God is pulsing through them, as them, and God is in their dreams. Their dreams, a gift that lives on within their hearts, whether they remember them or not. Want to make a group of humans believe they are unworthy of the divine essence within them? Tell them to worship someone else in exchange for love and freedom. Make them long for an afterlife better than this life, while forcing them to give up their hearts and their connection to the natural world. So I'm just thinking about the importance of the practices that we have that keep us in our center. And for me, that is meditation, that is movement, whether that is a traditional yoga practice or dance, or sometimes a fusion of the two. The practices that keep us centered, that keep us connected to that center point. That is our truth, our wisdom. My hope for the world as we dismantle and as certain systems dissolve, that the world we are rebuilding is actually coming from the deepest places of wisdom and truth within each human. As we connect soul to soul, heart to heart with each other, what does the rebuilding of our world look like? How can I dedicate myself more fully to getting really, really quiet within my own inner world and hearing the wisdom that is surfacing pulling my awareness back down into a deeper part of me, for that to be the place where I make decisions from, for that to be the place where I connect first before I take any steps forward, before I show up as an artist, before I show up in the world in any way. I want it to be from that place of depth and stillness and not urgency and overstimulation. I think maybe I'll always wrestle with the fear that I'm not doing enough. But actually, what I believe deep down is that the divine is within each person, and the divine is guiding each person. And it's up to the divine within each person to know the best way to communicate to each individual, and that there's a greater story unfolding, one that maybe we can't fully see from our vantage point. Ooh, there's the moon. Oh, it's so pretty. It's huge. Ultimately, all that any of us can do is show up, being moved and guided from the divinity within. Deeply listen to the divine wisdom moving through us, moving through our hearts and our bodies and our spirits, and then showing up in the world from that place. If I can trust that spring always comes after winter, if I can trust that the sun rises each day and sets each evening, then I can trust that there is a greater story unfolding, and that we are all a part of that story, and that we each have the free will to choose how we want to be a part of that story, the roles that we want to play within that greater story. And I can't help but think about the analogy of a rippling effect. I believe that just like if you gently touch your finger to the surface of the water, that ripple travels out in all directions and affects the surrounding water. That's how our souls moving through time and space affect the greater story, affect the bigger picture that we're a part of. I always come back to this just knowing in the deepest part of who I am that it matters. It matters that we show up. It matters that we're doing the work that we're doing. It matters that we live from a place of authenticity, from the depths of our beings. It matters that we're vulnerable and honest with each other. It matters that we show up and share from our hearts, that we create our art, that we write the stories that we came here to write. It matters. It matters. It matters. You matter, and whatever work you're doing in the world matters. Your art matters. Your stories that you're writing matter. The conversations you're having with people where you are showing up honestly and truthfully from your heart matter. The way that you walk into a room holding the inner light of your divinity and sovereignty matters. And there will be a rippling effect. And we can create waves of change. We already are. We already are. I see you. I value you. And I love you. Want to make people stop trusting the dreams in their hearts. Tell them they're delusional. Tell them they'll never survive in the real world if they don't forfeit their deepest longings. What is a dreamer? but someone who has simply not lost touch with their heart. Someone who refuses to leave their heart behind in their childhood, like a forgotten toy closed into a wooden chest, forever collecting dust. To dream is to call your power back. To dream is to create. Dream from your heart and be guided to take inspired steps. This is world building at its finest. This is where the magic happens. Not in the dreams you've been fed, or in the manifesting of more of what the machine wants you distracted by, but by dreaming from the depth of your heart about a world where love and true unity are very real. A world where we are all aligned with our hearts and with the earth. If it sounds too good to be true, that's a good place to start. That's what real dreamers do. Maybe we'll be seen as out of our minds, naive, deranged, but I can think of worse insults. Can we get comfortable with being seen as delusional and unrealistic while we keep the secret that we are actually becoming the most powerful beings on Earth? That our dreams carry the energy of creation itself. How unassuming we will seem while we build this new world together, pulling our dreams one by one like threads through the ether into this reality, weaving the tapestry of a liberated humanity. Don't you know this is what you came here for? To be a part of this reclaiming of the sacred here on Earth. Reach into new dimensions, new timelines, and gather the courage it takes to dream your dreams into existence. Don't stop at the dreaming. Create with your hands, with your body, with your mind. You are the key that unlocks the door. No need to knock. You are not out of place or in the wrong world. You're meant to be the one who sees differently. You're the one who creates new paradigms. Let your mind wander. Draw an imaginary line and follow it out of this old world. Get lost in the clouds and pull your visions down to earth until they materialize before your eyes.